Hi everyone, my name is Jamil Burns. I am the founder of Raised Roots. We are a farming company in Oakland and Livermore. I went to school out in Stockton in the Central Valley at University of the Pacific, and we did have a pretty excellent water polo team at the time, so some of you may have swam there or had a water polo match in the past. So what I'm here today to talk about is mutual aid and how that kind of describes what you guys are all doing. So thank you, Natalie Coughlin, for putting on Swimmers for Change. So the benefit that you guys are doing is, I think, a huge part of mutual aid. Now, when we think of mutual aid, we think of mutual. We break it down. Mutual, that means within each other, and aid, helping each other out. So it's different from aid that comes from the top down. This is a peer-to-peer sort of support system, and there's a large history behind mutual aid. If you guys take a look at my Instagram, I just posted an article that was written in Civil Eats, and it talks about the history of mutual aid within farmers and beyond, in the Great Depression era and since then as well. And so, with Swimmers for Change, you guys are participating in the same kind of system that's been built up and relied upon for so many generations. And I just want to talk a little bit today about why it's important that this sort of mutual aid today focuses on people like myself, my company Raised Roots, and other young black farmers who are trying to make it in farming. So when I got started, I realized very quickly how much money would have to be poured into agriculture in order to make it work. It's told to me that the fastest way to lose $1 million is to start farming. Now, I can't say I've lost $1 million yet, but I've certainly poured quite a bit of my time, energy, and money over the past number of years into doing this. And so farming has huge barriers to entry, and on top of that, over the years, through a number of factors, black people have been dispossessed of their land, have left the land. All that kind of comes together to where we are today, where less than 2% of our farmers in this country are black. And today we're seeing kind of a resurgence of young energy trying to get back to the land. And one of the problems is that energy at this point is, for the most part, relegated to our urban centers. So we see urban farming is flourishing right now. We have a lot of talent, and I could personally attest to that. That in the Bay Area, there's a lot of energy behind urban farming and behind creating a new food system. And what a lot of these people realize is that without broader access to land, without an injection of capital to allow things to move, then we can only have a minimal impact on the food system as a whole. And so one thing that I've done with my business is work to bridge some of those gaps. Like where I'm sitting right here, this is in a ranch about a half hour away from Oakland. And so this is the way I choose to do it. I live in the Bay Area, in a suburban area there, and I commute out to a more rural setting, and that's kind of where I pour my talents. And I think so many more people need access to that, and things like mutual aid can get us to that point. So understanding that we need capital to move forward, understanding that there are so many people with good ideas, but they can't fully pursue them without the access to land and resources that they need. Those sorts of things drive us to want to support each other, and when we do support each other, we see the results of that. We see very directly the impact of that. So over the last few weeks, we've seen huge influx of people donating to black-led organizations, etc. Also to black farmers as well. Also to Raised Roots, and that helped fuel the free meal program that we have. But one of the big points that I want to get across is that this is something that may need to be sustained for a longer period in order to really get farmers not only back on their feet from COVID times, but also recognizing that there was a whole class of people who were struggling well before this. So I appreciate what you all are doing today with the Swimmers for Change benefit, and what you're doing is clearly a part of this mutual aid projects. And I would only implore you all to kind of take a look at your life beyond Swimmers for Change, what you can do to support the people around you, support the people around the country who are trying to create a better world, and people who we trust to foster in a better food system. And so I would just implore us all to keep an ear to what's actually happening and what people need, and when possible, be a resource to those people. So thank you all again so much. Thank you again to Natalie Coughlin and to everyone else participating in Swimmers for Change. And I hope you all have a great time in the kitchen today, if you haven't already, and keep doing what you do. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.